Question of the day: how can we fix our lower back pain if we don't know what's causing it? Part 2. Just a quick recap. Part 1 was pain with flexion of the spine, flexion intolerance. This video is going to be on extension intolerance, pain with extension. We got a quick test for you, and then we have some steps moving forward as far as management goes, and then a few potential solutions. All right, enough talk, let's get to the test. All you need for the test is a chair that has no arms because they will get in the way. Now, before we get started, I want to make sure it's very clear this is a mildly provocative test. That means that we are trying to elicit some familiar symptoms from your lower back. So that may be radiating symptoms down the leg, that may be discomfort in the back, sharp, or whatnot. So again, if you are currently flared up, you're currently in spasm, this would not be a good test for you, and you would want to wait until your back gets back to the base level of discomfort that you normally have, assuming that you have a chronic element to your lower back pain. But if you're feeling up to it, all we're gonna do here is square up the legs, so knees directly over the heels. We are going to go into an extended position here. So a side view is we're gonna go into extension. You can allow your head to go back a little bit as well. Now, again, we're gonna sit in this position for about 10 to 20 seconds. Does that give you discomfort? Are you feeling symptoms going down the leg? Does it feel uncomfortable in the lower back? If you say yes, then that would be a good indication that you have some extension-based issues, and then that would be one of the components to your pain most likely. Now, if you didn't feel anything, but you're not 100% sure whether or not extension is an element, we can provide a little bit of overpressure. But if you felt something the first test, you do not need to do the second test. And it's gonna be the exact same thing. We are going to extend the spine, only this time we are going to grab the chair and pull down a little bit. Now, again, guys, we're not trying to rip our back in half. We're just trying to provide a little bit of overpressure. And again, 10 to 20 seconds. Do you feel symptoms down the back? Do you feel symptoms down the leg? If so, check for extension intolerance most likely. And if not, then you're good to go. All right, if you're still here, that probably means that you tested positive for extension intolerance. But what does that mean? It means that the motion of extension irritates your spine. This means that the next step we want to take is finding the areas in our day that have prolonged or loaded extension and see if we can reduce, eliminate, or modify these activities. Now, I just want to clarify again, this is not for the rest of your life. We are not trying to cut out extension movements forever. We are just trying to allow the lower back time to recover, to desensitize. So this will only be for the time being until your body can adapt and you can build the right support structures around that motion, and then we won't have this issue anymore, hopefully. Now, a few pointers I have for extension pain is a lot of times I see it in the gym and ironically everywhere else. So generally when someone has pain with extension, when the facet joints get irritated, you can see that person a lot of times in an overextended position in general. Now, this could be due to them trying to get perfect posture by pushing the chest out, when in reality, that's part of the reason they have their pain. So I would start by assessing your posture in general, making sure that we are staying relatively neutral and definitely not with the puff chest 24/7. Secondly, we have the gym, which is kind of the same problem. Now, you'll see a lot of people finish out the exercises in an overextended position. Now, this is again going to the loaded extension. If you have a deadlift that has a lot of weight and you're really hoisting back here, obviously it's not gonna be like one rep that's gonna be the issue, but over and over and over, combined with other things that require extension as well, or that use a lot of loaded extension throughout your day, these things can compile together and ultimately cause this overuse injury that you may be suffering from. And again, another exercise I see it a lot with is rows. When people are doing the rows, they really like to go into that extended position. Again, it's not always bad, and extension itself isn't bad. It's a vital movement of the spine, but anything done in too much of excess can be an issue. So you really have to track down these different elements in your day and find which one of them can be modified. Can you, again, instead of going into a super extended row position, can we try to neutral our spine out a little bit more when you row? Could you take a break from a certain exercise, maybe swap it out with another one? Can we focus on building more support structures for the spine in opposed to so we can kind of keep ourselves out of that overextended position? Now, I know all this might have sounded a little bit complicated, but really you just have to get creative with analyzing your day so you can really hone in on those things that are causing the issues. Now, I made an entire video about this process of desensitization, and I'll link it somewhere up here. Check that video out. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. I would love to get back to you. Also, subscribe if you found this helpful.